I went through a period in my life where I was extremely lonely. I was single for about 3 years and I was really focused on my career. And even though I was working a lot, I was around people, but it didn't do anything for the loneliness. It was very difficult. It was like a dark, thick cloud looming over me. And I know there's probably someone watching this that was already lonely, and then this quarantine thing happened and now it's even worse. One obvious solution is to get out and socialize, but we can't do that right now. Not only is that not possible, it's not always the solution anyway. What I mean is sometimes you could be in a crowded room full of people and feel even more lonely. And that's because loneliness is not just because we're lacking socialization. We feel lonely when we're lacking meaningful interactions. That's why if you're in a room full of people, it's not always a solution, because if these people are all into other people and they're not interested in you, it's not going to help. And it's almost like you're on the outside looking in and you're internalizing it as no one cares about me or no one is interested in me. And these are negative, self-defeating, self-centered thoughts. So when you feel lonely, it's because you're stuck in these thoughts. It's this fixation on what you don't have. And the best way to fight this is by battling the mind. This is done with self-talk. You might think, I'm never going to be happy again, or I'm always going to be lonely. You have to battle that with what's true. So when you have a negative thought, you battle it with a positive one. When you have an irrational thought, like no one cares or you'll always be lonely, then you have to battle that with something more rational. Another way to cope with this is to help someone else. And what this can do is kind of pull your focus into another direction and take you out of those thoughts. Ideally, you want to help someone that's more lonely than you. When you show interest in that person, that's going to help lift them out of their loneliness. Because remember, that's what loneliness is. It's feeling like no one is interested. So when you show interest, you're going to help that person come out of their loneliness, and in turn, you will also feel less lonely. It's in our nature to socialize, which is why loneliness can be so difficult, but it's also in our nature to help others. So when other people start to open up to you about how lonely or depressed they feel, you automatically find the strength and the right words to say to lift them up. And what's really good about this tip is that it doesn't just apply to loneliness. If you're lacking motivation, motivate someone. If you're feeling discouraged, encourage someone. It sounds counterintuitive, but it really is effective. If you lack it, provide it for someone else. You'll be amazed at how well this works. And here's a few specific tips that will help you feel less lonely. Get as much sunlight as possible. Open your curtains up during the day and try to avoid staying up late at night. In general, the brighter your living space is, the better. If you're completely alone, listen to other voices, whether it's the TV or the radio, anything that will distract you. You can influence your moods by what you're consuming, so listen and watch content that's uplifting. And here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to dwell on the loneliness. Being alone can be challenging, but you can make it a lot worse by just sitting around and dwelling on it while in solitude. And if you've tried all these things and you still don't feel better, you should probably consult a qualified professional. So look below for some numbers to hotlines, some websites, and some other resources that are completely free. And just remember, just because you're alone doesn't mean you have to fight this alone. As always, thanks for watching.